So gentlemen, a steel card is still on the table, so probably they are still on the traffic or on the way. We have to wait just a couple of minutes, but if the President is arriving and everybody take the seats, we're going to start the second day of the Extraordinary Congress. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Dear President, dear Secretary Generals, dear guests, dear friends, dear Congress, welcome back to the second day of the IBA Extraordinary Congress. Please take your seats. Before we move through the agenda, I would like to invite the President to say a few words. Dear President, the floor is yours.
Many thanks, Coco. Dear General President, dear guests, good morning. I am very happy to see you again. When we talked yesterday, I told you that we have to postpone our elections for today. You remember that I told you yesterday that we need to give CAS some time to do their work. And CAS gave us an answer yesterday during the day. They disagree with the idea of canceling those elections. So that is why we're going to continue according to our agenda. Coco, the word is yours.
We are going to the first very important agenda point, the roll call. Now I pass the floor to Katie from Lumi to proceed with the roll call.
Thank you, Secretary General. I can confirm that we have 142 voting delegates in the room, 6 voting delegates online, and a total of 148 voting delegates in total. Thank you. I'll pass back to you, Secretary General.
Thank you, Katie. I understand we have a quorum, so we shall move to the test vote. Back to you, Katie, please.
Thank you, Secretary General. We're now going to run a test vote for election-style questions. We're going to run at least 2 test votes to ensure that everyone is happy and comfortable with the way that you vote on these elections. So I'll talk through how to vote for those of you in the room first, and then I will explain how to vote for those of you online. So those of you voting in the room and online, you'll now see that the test vote is open. You'll see on screen here we have the list of candidates, and on your devices you'll also see that list. You'll need to scroll with the blue trackball in the middle of your keypad up and down the list of candidates. To select a candidate, once you are over their name, you'll see it's highlighted in grey. If you click that blue trackball again, an X will appear next to their name. This confirms that you've selected that person as a candidate you wish to vote for. If you scroll down the list, in this example, this test vote, you're allowed to select up to 5 candidates. That means you can scroll through your list and select 1 candidate, 2, or all the way up to 5. Once you're happy with the candidates you've selected, you press the green square to submit your vote. For those of you online, it's a similar process. You'll see that the list of candidates has appeared on the Lumi platform. You need to click on the candidates that you wish to select. Same as those in the room, you can select up to 5 in this example. And once you're happy with your selections, you click the send button in the bottom right-hand corner of the platform. Once you've submitted your vote, you'll have a vote received message. And if you wish to go back and change your vote, you can do so by clicking the red triangle or the X button to cancel your vote. And you can then start the process from the beginning and re-select your candidates. For those of you online, you can do the same thing by clicking the cancel button. I know this is a slightly longer process than the voting we did yesterday, so we will leave this test vote open for as long as needed to make sure everyone is happy with the process. If you do have any questions, either in the room or online, please let us know and we'll make sure to help you with those. I can see we have got the votes coming in steadily. So that does mean that at least some of you are happy with that process at the moment. So we'll leave this vote open for a while longer, and if you do have any questions, please let us know.
Dear colleagues, we have questions there. The equipment is not worked. Gabor, please help. If anybody has the same technical issues, problems, please let us know immediately. Oh, there is a lot.
We can see there are some hand raised, so we're going to come over and help anyone that needs it. If you could just keep your hands raised so that we can find you. Thank you.
So please, if anyone has a problem with the voting machine, then raise your hand or stand up, and our colleague is going to help you. Please let us know if you still have some problems with your equipment.
hopefully we've managed to assist everyone who had their hands raised and show you how to cast your vote. If there are any other questions, please pop your hand back up or send a message into the chat and we'll come over and help you. Thank you to everyone who's already cast their vote. I can see we've had 120 votes come through, which leaves about 24 who haven't cast your vote yet. If you've been practicing and have cancelled your vote, that's fine. But if you are having any issues, please raise your hand or let us know. And if you can submit your votes, that would be brilliant. Thank you. It doesn't appear there are any more questions, so I will close this test vote in 30 seconds. If you do have any questions, please let us know. This test vote is now closed and the results will be displayed shortly. I'll read the results for those in Zoom for this test vote. There were total possible votes of 151, and Donald Duck received 82 votes, Anna received 74, Tarzan 70, Belle 59, Buzz Lightyear 59, Minnie Mouse 57, Ariel 51, Christoph 43, and Jafar 41. I'll hand back to the Secretary General. Please let me know if you'd, Secretary General, if you'd like to conduct a second test vote. Thank you.
Thank you again, Katie. Thank you. We shall now move on with the agenda. It looks like we have a motion. Please turn on your microphone. Yeah, please.
Is the mic working? Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Nol van Vliet on behalf of the Dutch Boxing Federation, and no doubt many others, say, let's wait for CAS. We disagree with the last-minute decision of the interim nomination unit. It's inconsistent with the decision of the IBA Disciplinary Committee one day prior to that. We strongly feel that we cannot disregard the constitutional process and the decisions of our judicial bodies. Therefore, we cannot accept that the interim nomination unit can be overruled without due process. That process is provided by our own constitution. It's now necessary to appeal to CAS. We need for CAS to do their work, as President Kremlin stated yesterday. We do not support holding the election in a compromised manner today. To do so, would be unfair. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, but I just want to let you know, if you have a motion, we are ready to listening and voting or any way, but the time is right now is for voting the president and voting the board of directors. So as we begin with the presidential election, I would like to remind everyone that we will be close the door right now. If anyone leaves the room, they won't be allowed to back until the end of the election process.
Mr. Chairman, may I have one question, please?
If it's belong to the agenda.
My name is Steve from New Zealand, and I am one of the people who has been sanctioned and prevented from running for a position as a candidate on the IBA board. Today we were to conduct a presidential election, an election between two candidates, both who have shown strong leadership skills, both who appear to have support from a fairly equal amount of IBA NCOs, or NI countries at least. This is the grounds for a fair and a compliant election. It's a good thing for democracy when we see two strong candidates vying for a leadership position. But when one candidate is prevented from running for the position, I must ask why. Why is this? Why has Mr. Boris van der Vos and 4 other board director candidates been sanctioned and prevented from running for electoral positions by the IBA nomination unit for so-called breaches of election rules, even when the IBA disciplinary unit stated there has been no breach of rules? Mr. Kremlev, you have stated on more than one occasion that we are entering a new era, an era of transparency and open leadership. Talk to me any time you have ideas or concerns. Talk to us and we will listen. You said this. Mr. Kremlev, my fellow candidates and I did. We tried at first to talk to you on a private level, in confidence, but then you went public with the correspondence. And by this action, you forced us to do the same. Then we were accused of electioneering. Our purpose was to engage in dialogue with you and the IBA, to do exactly what you asked us to do, engage with us and help to guide our sport to the future. You said this, and we did, as you requested, but now the IBA shoots us down for doing so. What kind of great open governance is this? You tell us to assist in administering our sport, to contact you and voice concerns. We did. The IBA sanctioned us. Did you not really mean talk to us as long as you agree with us? We will listen as long as you speak what we want to hear. And if you don't like what you speak of, then we will discriminate against you because you question us. Is this democracy you speak of? Mr. President, could you please explain to the meeting the meaning of democracy?
Even if the question was not to me, but it looks like you are not accept the interim nomination unit decision, so I think it's the best way to pass the floor immediately. Jacques Blondin, who representing the unit, and he can answer of your questions and he can fulfill all of the yep, please, Jacques.
Thank you, Secretary General. Look, with respect to your comment, the only thing we can say at this stage is that the decision was taken by an independent committee. Therefore, I will only reply with respect to what the committee does. Explanations were provided yesterday. There is no problem for me to address them once again. One thing are disciplinary violations, and other things are eligibility rules. Each body, the disciplinary committee and the internomination unit, acted according to the relevant regulations in the constitutions and in the regulations for the Congress and elections. Each of them decided based on their remit. This being said, there are legal ways to appeal against a decision. The candidate, Boris van der Vorst, used his right to appeal against the decision. There was a decision from CAS that was notified yesterday about the request for provisional measure, rejecting such a request. Therefore, at this stage, we cannot enter into a legal debate or any type of debate with respect to that. There are procedures. They will follow their course. The candidate will have the opportunity to present his case in front of the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Again, this is a process that has been approved unanimously by the Congress of IBA and is included in the Constitution, and therefore we will have to proceed with today's agenda, and if there will be a decision, any decision from the CAS, we will be notified in due course.
Thank you, Mr. Blondin. So I hope you accept this answer. And then, yeah, the very last moment, if somebody has any motion, so not general comment, but motion, then the last chance. If not, then we're going to the presidential election. As I mentioned earlier, as per the Constitution, the position of the chairperson will be fulfilled by someone appointed by the IBA, the International Boxing Association Interim Nomination Unit, Jacques Blondin, who will be taking the floor for the presidential election. Umar, for this moment, you became a candidate, and I invite you to take a seat in the front. And please allow me to introduce the chairperson for today's election, Jacques Blondin. Over to you.
So thank you again, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you all of you for being here. I would also take the opportunity to welcome you to this second day of this IBA Extraordinary Election Congress. So before starting with the election, we would like to refer to the appointed scrutineers that have been appointed in line with Article 23, Paragraph 3 of the Regulations on the Congress and Elections. Bearing in mind that the voting system will be supported by Lumi electronic voting system as for yesterday, you already done the testing, so hopefully everything will work, for sure will work, and everything is clear. So for your information, the nomination unit appointed the following persons as scrutineers for the election of today. We have Mr. Bernard Welten from Switzerland. He is the chair of the IBA Ethics Committee. And Mr. François Stridom from South Africa, chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of IBA. Is there any question in this respect? Any objection to the appointment of Mr. Welten and Mr. Stridom to the position of scrutineers for today's elections? Okay, we can then continue. Thank you very much. So, before giving the floor to our candidate for the election, I would once again recall that as it was notified on the 9th of May, the candidate is given 10 minutes to make a presentation, show a video. So I kindly invite the candidate to respect the time allocated to him. This being said, I now invite Mr. Umar Kremlev to take the floor and make his presentation. Thank you.
Kremlev to become president. The challenge was huge. He made some very bold promises. He had to. It was the only chance to save boxing.
Less than a year and a half
Mr.
ago,
Kremlev
the
was
National
elected.
Federation of IBA
was
chose
nearly
Umar
bankrupt.
Kremlev to become
He promised
president.
this would change.
The challenge
Now,
was huge.
all debts are
He made
paid.
some very bold promises.
Before Mr.
He
Kremlev
had
was
to.
elected,
It was
our
the only
boxers
chance
were
to
not
save
rewarded.
boxing.
He
Before
promised
Mr.
this would
Kremlev
change.
was elected,
Now the
IBA
boxers
was
have prize
nearly
money.
bankrupt. He
Before
promised
Mr.
this would
Kremlev
change.
was elected,
Now,
the IOC
all
had
debts are
taken
paid.
away control of boxing.
Before Mr. Kremlev
Now,
was elected,
IBA is
our
working
boxers
with the
were not
IOC.
rewarded.
And we
He
have
promised
a roadmap
this would
for
change.
IBA to be
Now the
reinstated
boxers have prize
just 1
money.
year from now.
Before
Kremlev,
Mr.
in
Kremlev
support
was
of the
elected,
Board of
the
Directors
IOC had
initiated
taken
an
away
honest,
control of
independent
boxing.
investigation of the
Now
past
IBA
with
is
Professor
working with
McLaren.
the IOC, and we have a roadmap for IBA to be reinstated just 1 year from now. Kremlev, in support of the Board of Directors, initiated an honest, independent investigation of the past with Professor McLaren. Moreover, IBA is building foundations of good governance for the future with Professor Haas. Under Kremlev's leadership, IBA got a new face to show sponsors and broadcasters. We have gone further and faster on behalf of boxers than any year in the history of IBA, like making IBA a leader in humanitarian actions with the Fair Chance team. These are amazing achievements. It has been a team effort, and we should all be very proud. But Kremlev is a man who is always looking forward. What are his priorities for the future? These are priorities we all share. First, we must keep the promises we have made. We have promised to improve our sports integrity. Already we have made good improvements, including background checks and random selection for both R&Js and ITOs. We must have a culture of fair fights. We must continue to provide more opportunities for boxers to compete at the highest level. We must deliver the roadmap for governance reform by the end of this year. Our
Brothers, my boxing family, 18 months ago you showed me your trust. You have elected me as the president of IBA, and 18 months later I can say with confidence that you made the right choice. Back then we faced an impossible situation. There were only 3 people, staff members, working for the IBA office. There were millions of debts. There were no confidence in our sports integrity. Moreover, the Olympic boxing tournament was completely out of hands. The same happened with the qualification system. It seemed quite certain that Tokyo 2020 would be the last time when the boxing would be on the Olympic agenda. There were lots of problems. IBA couldn't financially support the national federations. No prize money for boxers. Many considered the situation to be hopeless, but me, no. Our sport has been always attractive, both to athletes and to spectators. The lessons that boxing teaches young people have always been very valuable. Our sport has always been very popular throughout the world. And the most important, there have always been people like you. People who are ready to share your time and your passion for the sport that we all love. So that is why, where AIBA seemed to be completely lost, I believed that there was a better future. And I made some big promises to you about a better future for the boxing. Let's be quite clear. IBA is going in the right direction now. Obviously, there's still a huge amount of work remains. This is a long-term work. This is not for one day. There is no miracle that can help us. It is very long-term work. What is the most important rule for myself? We have to give very concrete promises, and we have to deliver those promises. And you know that I always deliver. I am going to fulfill my promises for the sake of our athletes. And I'm looking forward to work together with a new board of directors who is going to help delivering the new strategy and help creating a new professional culture. That is why I ask you humbly again to give me a chance, to give me an opportunity to fulfill my promises. I'm sure that in 4 years you'll look back and you'll say, we made the right decision at that time. Because boxing for me is not just work, it is my passion, this is my life. I understand that when there is only one candidate, in that case, he or she is elected by acclamation. But in our case, it would be better to conduct voting. This is a fair way. Many thanks.
Thank you very much. So, although the constitution of IBA provides that in case of sole candidate, so when there is one candidate, according to Article 28, paragraph 4, the candidate will be considered to be elected by acclamation. Mr. Kremlev just offered the possibility to still conduct the election by secret ballot. Therefore, considering this proposal, if there is no objection from the voting delegates for the national federations, we propose to continue with voting by secret ballots by using LUMI voting system, if there is no objection to this proposal.
There is one hand. Yep. The mic is on the way.
Good morning, and good morning to all national federations. Good morning, Mr. President and Secretary General. Can you please read the Constitution that says that there's only one candidate, that they win by acclamation? I do not believe it's under good governance to have a body violate the Constitution. President Kremlev has won, and I do not believe there should be a vote. Thank you.
Jacques, please let me pass the floor to Claude to explain the Constitution. Thank you, Claude.
So, just a reference to the Constitution. So Article 28, paragraph 4 clearly says that where there is only one candidate for a position on the board, so including also the president of IBA, then the candidate shall be deemed to be anonymously elected by acclamation at the Congress meeting concerned, so at today's Congress meeting. So this is the reference in the Constitution to the acclamation. So, is there any objection to proceed? Question there.
Je suis Yusuf.
My name is Yusuf Abduba. I'm from the Nigerian Boxing Association.
Not Nigeria, Niger. Comme l'a dit mon prédécesseur,
As my predecessor said, the President Omar is the sole candidate. The Constitution says that we have to vote for him by acclamation. Why we will not vote for by acclamation? Why we will make things harder? I believe that we have to accept the election of the President Omar by acclamation. Thank you, sir.
There are objections to this. We will follow the Constitution, and therefore I hereby invite you all to elect Mr. Kremlev by acclamation, by a round of applause, please. So congratulations to Mr. Kremlev. So now I invite the newly re-elected Mr. President Umar Kremlev to take the floor and to make his acceptance speech. Thank you.
Мои братья,
Dear brothers, dear sisters, my boxing family. For me, it is very important to be open, to be honest. Obviously, we had lots of problems. It was all not very simple, very easy. But for me, it is very important that we are united. For me, not the post is important. I don't need this status. I need my boxing family. And I'm going to help the family to get rid of their problems. And these are not just words or promises. We are the family who talk to each other, who support each other, who hears each other. And who are the members of our IBA boxing family. You have to be sure, you must be sure, that we have to follow the rules, we shouldn't violate the rules, and we must protect the most important assets that we have. These are trainers, athletes, and national federations. 203 countries are our members. We are protecting all of these countries, all of the national federations. I don't want us in our sporting organizations to have political discussions. I would like us to understand that IBA is a sporting organization. This is an organization which is developing boxing. And our trainers, our athletes are looking up to us. They're hoping that we would be able to create good conditions for their activity. guaranteeing fairness in competitions. For national federations, IBA is such an organization which should support them, which should aid them, help them, which should work in their interests. Our system is very simple. It all starts with trainers. Then there are athletes, boxers, and thanks to them, we have a beautiful sports, and that is boxing. Then trainers are electing and voting. They're voting for the creation of their own national federation. And then national federations are electing on the continental level. And then the continental federations are electing the president of the World Federation. And it all happens thanks to athletes and trainers. And today, all of us should understand quite clearly that we are protecting and working for the sake of those who entrusted us the management of this organization, of this sport. We are not really managing and sort of showing around the national organizations and telling them what to do. No, we are just helping, assisting them. This is my direct responsibility as a president. And I would like to say, if you want to talk to me, you can always call me. All of you know my number. I am ready to visit all the countries. I am ready to discuss all the issues, developing our sport in each of the countries. My goal is to make boxing one of the most popular types of sports. Within a year and a half, 18 months, I personally visited more than 50 countries. Quite a lot of you know about it. I have direct contacts to athletes and trainers. I know the situation in many countries from the inside. I have direct contacts to national federations. And those who haven't yet established a contact with me, a direct contact with me, let's do that. I'm ready to visit you. I'm ready to meet you, to talk to you. This is my responsibility, to develop boxing in each of the countries. We have planned opening boxing academies on each of the continents, but we are not planning to open first one academy, then the other one. We would like to do this work at the same time, and hopefully we can open such academies in countries as well, on the national levels. And these are not just words. And I hope that we can present a united front and that we shouldn't pick upon words. We have to follow our rules, our charter, and that we conduct all our actions within that framework. And only together we can do boxing and our international association as the best and one of the best around the world. I won't be able to do it on my own. I can't do it without your trust, without your interaction. It is impossible. Only together we can do boxing one of the best types of sports, and our associations one of the best associations of the world. I wish all the national federations understand that, and I know you do. I know that you have boxing in your heart, and that is why you are heading the national federations, the continental associations, and the continental federations. Your trust and your interaction, your support is very important for me. As yesterday our Irish colleague has mentioned, there's a lot of bureaucracy, but little sport, and I completely agree with that remark. We have to deal more with boxing. So that is why we are here. That is why we're making all our decisions. That is why we got this trust from our boxers. Because whatever we do, we have to do it for our athletes, for the trainers, and for the national associations. Because if we don't have boxers and if we don't have trainers, there are no national associations and there is no IBA. We have to understand that, and that is why we have to protect and support them. We have to guarantee them fairness and transparency. And our main task, 99% of our task, is to support the development of boxing. And as an entrusted president, I would like to say that IBA is your boxing home. IBA office is your office. And all the IBA associates, they know that they have to work for you, to assist you in every respect. And wherever a boxer, a trainer finds himself, in whatever country, in whatever complicated situation, our office must react immediately and assist those people in whatever difficulties they encounter, if they are personal problems as well. For me, the most important thing is your trust, the trust of associations, the trust of athletes and of the trainers. That is why I am here in front of you. I don't need anything else. I don't need a status. I need you. Because boxing is my heart, is my life. It is not just work. And that is why my humble request, let's really work together. Let's become a strong team. If you have any suggestions, let's talk together. Let's develop any ideas, any sponsorship plans. We, IBA office, we are ready to consider any good suggestions in the interests of boxing, in the interests of national federations. IBA is our boxing house, house of boxing. I belong to you. I am a member of your family. We are one family. And I really want that it doesn't remain just empty words. Anyone can talk to me. Anyone can turn to me without any intermediaries. You can ask me questions directly, complicated questions, uncomfortable questions, difficult. I'm open to all of you. And I would like to say today, many thanks to everyone for your trust. And everything what I promised to you, I'm going to deliver as a president. And all the IBA office would work in the interests of the national federations, associations. We have some national federations which have some difficulties, different kind of problems, not only financial. IBA has a task. Our task is not just to withdraw their accreditation. By no means. Our task is to support them legally by consulting, by advising. This is our task. We have to work with each national federation for them to work according to the IBA Charter. And it is quite important that our national federations remain independent without any external influence. So that is why we have invited independent experts, as such Professor Ulrich Haas, to assist in our reforming to amend our charter for the sake of the better future. We have attracted as well an independent group of Professor McLaren to conduct independent investigations for us to part ways with our past and to guarantee our current and future boxers a fair play, a fair game. I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your trust. And let's really talk around the clock. I am ready to talk to you anytime. Each of you have your own boxing developing programs. Some of you probably don't have that. We are ready to support you with that. But some of the countries have really very successful roadmaps for the boxing development. Let's work together. Let's help all of you in doing that. Many thanks to all of you. IBA is our house of boxing. And I'm ready to make a kind of calendar and plan my visits to each of your countries. Many thanks for your trust.
Yes, please. Yeah, we have a question.
In order for a point of order, I wish to...
Please use the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to remind this Congress that 4 years ago, I made a point at that time, and the point that I made then was rejected because Mr. Tanner was the chair, and he refused to listen to me. And I said then that if you don't listen, you will field. And I just want to say that, first of all, I wish to congratulate the President on his re-election. I had no doubt that he would have been re-elected no matter what the situation would have been. But there is a rule that must be followed, although he won by acclamation. And the rules are from, number one, the parliamentary maze, and then number two, Robert Rules of Order. What should have happened? Once he has read the declaration, the secretary must cast one vote, and that one vote will signify that he has won the election by acclamation. That did not happen. It may sound simple, but in the world of jurisprudence, a technicality can change the whole outlook of a previous decision. I want to make that clear, and I hope you would listen today. And although the President already gave his acceptance speech, it is not too late to correct that. If you need me to assist you, I can do so.
Thank you for the proposal. The constitutions in that respect are clear, and since there was only one candidate, the acclamation process is followed like this. Is a procedure that is also recognized by Swiss law, Swiss association law, that is the system, the legal system that governs also the International Boxing Association, and therefore the process was carried out properly. The re-elected president offered the possibility to have a secret ballot. Voting delegates refused, objected, and therefore we had to stick to the Constitution, and the Constitution are very clear in that respect.
Had you ever discovered the Constitution being clear, and when the test of time comes, you find that there was something that was not so right about the Constitution? I just want to bring that point to you. You're a lawyer. You should know.
I do.
I know.
Or I hope I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Constitution, again, I say, look, we followed, we prepared ourselves, we really analyzed in detail the Constitution before starting the Congress, before every day, any day of the Congress, and therefore there is no problem whatsoever with the process as it was dealt with, the acclamation, and therefore the re-election of the President has been performed correctly and in accordance with the Constitution. So I hope these clarify your doubts. But
it doesn't. Please. My doubt still remains. But you know, I'm an island boy from the Bahamas. They don't listen to us, but that's okay. Be good. Be good with that.
Thank you. So
I'm really sorry, but we are listening to you, of course.
No, okay. So we now proceed with item number 12, so the Audit Committee's election.
I'm sorry, Jacques.
Yeah. There is another
candidate. Yeah.
Here, it's a bit difficult to see with the lights.
Please stand up, not just raise a hand, because it's not easy to recognize it. Thank you.
بنهنئ مع تنظيم الاتحاد الأردني.
I'm from the Jordanian Boxing Federation, and I'd like to extend my congratulations to the re-elected president. And I'd like to clarify an important point to our colleague who's raising the point related to formality of announcing the results. I'd like to clarify what's the article that he's referring to specifically. We're comfortable with the procedure that has been taken so far, and we we were even glad with the suggestion put by Mr. Oma about being elected by vote or by secret ballot. But I just would like to clarify what's the article that was referred to. Thank you.
It doesn't work.
No, it's okay. You can.
If you can help me, because my headset were not working.
Thank you for the qualification. We can continue.
We can continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I had some technical issues with them.
We have one more question.
So,
there is any? I'm sorry. We have one more question. Yeah.
Good morning.
Can you stand up, please?
Yes. Good morning to everyone. This is not a question. Just basically on behalf of the Guyana Boxing Association to congratulate the president on being re-elected. As he rightly said, 18 months ago when he was elected, this organization that we all love was in chaos, and he's been able to bring us back into some semblance of order. I would just want to register the full support of the Guyana Boxing Association to work with you 7 days a week, even if it is 8 days a week. We are willing to work with you on the road to development of this sport that we love. Thank you very much, and congratulations again, Mr. President.
Thank you for your comments. One more motion or comments. So I kindly ask you if you just have a general comments, and then probably it's after the election, because we still have some very important agenda point.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ghanim, President of the Egyptian Federation. I'm very glad to witness this transparency and democracy that just took place in the IBA election. I'd like to extend my congratulations to Mr. Oma on his re-election once again as a president of IBA. We are very glad to have worked with you, and we were glad to hear his comments, and that boxing for him is passion and life, and it is not a mere position that he is holding. Of course, we believe that the trust that was just given to him is in fact a responsibility, and we believe that we can work together in order to ensure that we continue to be part of the Olympics. Once again, we're very glad to continue working with you during the way forward, and we hope that your efforts will reflect all over the world. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, dear Congress.
We can continue. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So we will now proceed with the election of the members of the Audit Committee. So today we have 3 candidates for the position of members of the IBA Audit Committee. These 3 candidates have already been elected by the board on an interim basis and have been successfully considered eligible by the interim nomination unit. These are the following candidates: Didier Wicht from Switzerland, Stasha Balmat from Switzerland, and Umar Akhtar from the United Kingdom. According to Article 28, Paragraph 4 of the Constitution, that applies also to the elections of the members of the Audit Committee by virtue of Article 37, Paragraph 8 of the Constitution, when there are the same number of candidates as the number of open positions, the candidates may be deemed elected by acclamation by the Congress. Therefore, unless there is any objection, I would then suggest that to the Congress to elect these 3 members for the Audit Committee by acclamation. Is there any objection? No? So please proceed with the acclamation. So congratulations to the new audit committee members. And we will now proceed with the next item of the agenda, which is the election of the IBA independent directors. So we will first have a look at the process. There has been already an explanation in this regard made last week, but it's worth it to have a look at it again. So the Constitution foresees that, at Article 28, Paragraph 3, that there is one ballot to elect the 10 independent directors. The candidates with the higher number of votes which comply with the selection criteria will be elected, and there is no need to have an absolute majority of votes. In practice, there is one ballot with a list of candidates, with all candidates. Each of you, each of the voting delegates, will have to select a list of maximum 10 candidates. It can be less, it cannot be more. So maximum 10 candidates. Unless there is a tie at any time during the process, there will be only one ballot to elect all 10 independent directors. According to Article 24, Paragraph 2 of the regulations on the Congress and election, there are 3 steps that have to be followed in order to elect these 10 independent directors that will be member of the IBA board. So you can move to the next slide, please. Standing point. The result of the ballot shall be displayed with all candidates being ranked based on the number of votes obtained by each of them. So the first step is that the candidate from each continent, so AFBC, AMBC, ASBC, EUBC, and OCBC, who has obtained the highest number of votes shall be elected. And like this, we will have 5 independent directors that are elected. The step 2, if in step 1 result in less than 5 female candidates being elected, the highest ranked women from the remaining list of candidates shall be elected. And there will be at least 5 women that will be elected as independent directors. Step number 3, if with step number 1 and step number 2 completed, if the result of number of independent directors elected is less than 10, implying that at least 1 woman has been elected in step 1, then the highest ranked candidates from any gender from the list will be elected in order to obtain the final number of 10 independent directors. There are some restrictions. All of these are included in the Constitution and regulations. There is a maximum number of directors per national federation. So 1 independent director per national federation, which means that as soon as an independent director is elected, other candidates affiliated to the same national federations shall be removed from the list. There is a maximum number of independent directors per continent, which is 3. Therefore, as soon as 3 independent directors from 1 continent are elected, all other candidates affiliated to the national federations from the same continent shall be removed from the list. In case of tie, if at any step of the process there is a tie, a further ballot will be conducted between the tied candidates only. The one with the highest number of votes will be elected. In case of a further tie, in this further ballot, the chairperson of the election shall draw the name of the successful candidate. So, with respect to the scrutinies, once again, I confirm that Mr. Bernard Welten from Switzerland, Chair of the Ethics Committee, and Mr. François Stridom from South Africa, Chair of the Disciplinary Committee, have been appointed as scrutineers for this election. Once again, I would like to ask you if any of you has any objections to their appointment. No objection. So we will now proceed with the roll call for candidates. So, sorry. So here you have the list. So we have Volodymyr Prodivus from Ukraine, Belay Abdel Jaoud Jawad from Morocco. Vuzal Nazirli from Azerbaijan.
Please, Jacques, first please check are they here or not?
Sorry, you're right. Vladimir Prodivus from Ukraine. Please stand up if you're... Thank you. Belaj Abdel Jawad from Morocco. Thank you. Vuzal Nazirli from Azerbaijan. Is not here, so according to the Constitution, candidates for the position of members of the board of directors should be attending.
Do you have any information about the candidates? Any country members here? No, the table is empty.
Can we continue then?
Yes.
Okay, so according to the Constitution, a candidate for a position in the board should be attending the election. Therefore, Mr. Nazirli will be removed from the list of candidates. We then have Christy Harris from Australia. Thank you. Jamalaj Dian Gomez from Sri Lanka. Thank you. Mohamed Said from Comoros. Thank you very much. Matthew Holt from Scotland. Thank you. Mir Farid Vatamparast from Germany. Thank you. I apologize for some pronunciations. Felipe José Martínez from Spain. Thank you. Julia Felton from Australia. Thank you. Pearl Beverly Dlamini from Eswatini. Thank you very much. Yusuf Al-Kazim from Qatar. Thank you. Adnan bin Ali from Kuwait. Thank you. Jinqian Zhu from China. In this case, is attending online. He requested specific authorization to attend online due to force majeure restrictions that prevented him from attending the Congress physically here with us. He was granted this possibility to attend online. Thank you, Mr. Zhu. Bono Bosniak from Croatia. Thank you. Nenad Borovkanin from Serbia. Thank you. Marta Forsen Celaya from Spain. Thank you. Mwangi Moses from Uganda. Thank you. Elise Señol from the United States of America. Thank you. Karin Mattsson from Sweden. Thank you. Luisa Elena Benitez Gomez from Venezuela. Thank you. Bertrand Magloire Roland Menduga from Cameroon. Thank you. Susanna Toth from Hungary. Thank you very much. So, roll call. So we can now proceed with the election. One important thing, you will see in your screen, you can scroll up and down in order to select your candidate. You won't see all your candidates in the screen. We have a question there, please. It's important that you can scroll up and down to select, to see the full list of your candidates.
I'm sorry, Jack, we have one.
Yeah, sure. We have one question there.
Do you have a problem, or do you want to have a comment, or?
Microphone there, please.
But I'm sorry, but if you have just a comment, no, you have a technical issue. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. I want to withdraw my candidature to give one more chance for my brothers. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Menduga, withdraw.
So we remove, thank you, we remove from the list and from the voting system. So we are now ready to start with the election.
I'm sorry, Jack, we have one more. Hello,
one
Felipe.
more. Sorry, here it's difficult to really see what happens with the light.
Felipe, the floor is yours.
Yes, yo también retiro mi candidatura.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
I am withdrawing my candidature as well. This is to give more support for the Spanish female candidate.
Felipe? Any other comment, objection? Okay. So we can now proceed with the vote. Please use your devices, and in case of question, okay, so they confirm me that we are ready to start. So, please.
Thank you. The vote is now open. I would like to remind you all again how to cast your vote in this election. As mentioned, you may need to scroll with your, either if you're in person here, your blue trackball, or if you're attending online using your mouse to see the full list of candidates. You can select up to 10 candidates, and to do this, you scroll and then click on that candidate, and for those of you in the room, you'll see an X appear next to their name, and for those of you online, you'll see that name is highlighted. Once you've selected the number of candidates and the candidate names that you're happy with, please click the Send button to submit your vote. You'll see a message confirming your vote has been received, and if you wish to cancel your vote and reselect the names, please do so. Just a reminder, if you are having any difficulties or have any questions about the voting, please raise your hand and someone will come over to assist you. If you're attending online and you're having any trouble, please send a message in via Zoom. Thank you. I can see that votes are coming in, so just a reminder to those who haven't yet cast their vote, you'll need to scroll down the list and either click the blue trackball to select your name, or online just click the name. You'll see that the name is either highlighted or has an X next to it to confirm that name. Once you've selected all your desired candidates, you'll need to click the send button to submit your vote. And to see the full list of candidates, you will need to scroll either with that blue trackball or using your mouse to see the bottom of the list. Thank you. I can see that the majority of the votes have been cast. So for those of you who have not yet cast your vote, you'll need to use the blue trackball to scroll through the list of candidates, selecting your candidates, again using that trackball, or for those of you online, clicking on the desired candidate name. Once you've selected the candidates you're happy with, please either click the green square to send or the submit button online to cast your vote. If you do have any questions, please raise your hand and we will come and assist you. And for those online, please send a message into the Zoom chat. Thank you. We are still waiting on a few votes to be cast, so if you have not yet submitted your votes, please do so. If you are having any difficulties or need anything explained or have any questions, please raise your hand or send a message. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has already voted. For those of you who haven't voted, the vote will close in 1 minute. Thank you, everyone. The poll is now closed. The results will be displayed shortly. Thank you. The results are now being displayed to the Congress. I'll hand back to you, Jacques. Thank you.
I have to go there. But then just a minute. We're collecting the number of the votes and we collect the names. Now we have a final result. Mr. Jacques Blondin will introduce you who elected to the new board.
Thank you, Secretary General. So we will follow the steps that I explained above. Before, we will start with the first step, so the person from each continent with the highest number of votes. So I will announce the person in question. If this person accepts the election, I kindly invite the person to come here on stage so that can be received a round of applause and a congratulation from the Congress. So we start with Elise Señol from the United States of America.
Please, Elise, join us on the stage.
Stay here so we wait your colleagues. So then we have Pearl Beverly Dlamini from Eswatini. Please welcome on stage. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Congratulations. We then Christy Harris from Australia. Congratulations. We'll then, yes, Vladimir Prodivus from Ukraine.
That's a long walk if you're in the back of the room.
Sorry, it's a long walk, but a lot of applause. And then we close this first step with Mr. Al-Kazim from Qatar. We now move to step number 2. We have 3 female candidates. 5 is the minimum, so we will now move to elect the 2 other female candidates that obtain the highest number of votes. Same thing, I will announce your name. If you accept your election, please come on stage. We go with Susanna Toth from Hungary. Congratulations. Congratulations. And now, Marta Forsen Celaya from Spain. Now, to conclude with step 3, we will complete the 10 spots available for independent directors with the remaining candidates that received the highest number of votes. So please welcome on stage Mr. Belaj Abdeljouad from Morocco. Mr. Jamalash Dian Gomez from Sri Lanka. Ouais, très mal, mais je parle français, je parle français. Vous aussi?
Je suis française.
Ah ouais?
Je suis française et américaine.
Ah, ça va. Alors, je ne savais pas comment prononcer les leçons de... Congratulations. And 10th independent director, Mr. Jingxian Zhu from China, who unfortunately is not with us, but please. So, congratulations to all the elected independent directors. Congratulations also on behalf of the administration. And I would now like to pass the floor back to the IBA Secretary General. Again, congratulations from my side, and you can take again your seat.
Thank you.
And good luck. Secretary General.
Thank you, Jacques. That was hard work. And thank you for the Congress to make the amazing votes and selected amazing board of directors. So I'm very grateful to you for being here. I would also like to thank our scrutineers, François Stridom and Bernard Welten, together with Heiner Kallert and Melanie Scherer of the Governance Reform Group. It is a big commitment on your time to come here and help us for these 2 days, and I hope everyone will now join me in a round of applause to show our appreciation. Thank you for your help. Thank you very much. So before I pass the floor, our President, please allow me to invite the newly elected directors to attend their first Board of Directors meeting today in 4 hours, which means, probably at 3 p.m., more or less 3 p.m., we're going to organize it in the Polat Renaissance Hotel. So please don't forget, today will be the first day when we're starting to work together, the first Board of Director meeting. And also, I just inform you, if you leave the room, then please don't forget to bring your equipment and give back the card and give back the equipment to the guys from the Lumi. And thank you also for the Lumi to help us today. And now I invite our President, Mr. Umar Kremler, for the closing remarks.
Я поздравляю всех национальных федераций.
I congratulate the Congress and I congratulate the boxing family with the correct choice. I am sure that those of you whom you have elected today, they are going to work in the interests of boxing and in the interests of national federations. I congratulate the new board of directors, those who were elected today. I am yours 24 hours a day. I hope we are going to work together, because only working together we can improve boxing. Let's work together, let's cooperate. IBA is our home of boxing. We don't have a nationality, we don't have skin color, we don't have a religion, we don't have any borders. We have only one boxing family. And we have to support that family. I congratulate all of you, and I turn to all the national federations. We have a program of developing boxing in each country, so that is why I'm turning to you personally. Please talk to us. Let's develop your sport in each of your countries. And please, I'm turning to the heads of the directors of the continental federations. Let's work together. Congratulations to all of you.
Extraordinary Congress is officially closed, and we have a silly idea. If you have, or if you want to have a nice pictures, then probably all of you can join us on the stage or front of the stage, because our colleagues is prepared to make a family pictures. So please join us on the stage and front of the stage. And thank you for attending on the Extraordinary Congress.